Literally, you didn't.
Recording in progress.
There you go. Now you can do that whole intro again.
Recording in progress.
That's not that intro.
Welcome to Pick Apart the Flick. We got my man Pesto in the building. We got
What up?
Tayamo Deku.
Peace.
Myself is Rambunctious. And we are back to break apart movies and let you know whether you should watch them,
Yeah, this is
rewatch them,
episode 4,
all that
everybody.
shit. This is episode Fizzle to the Fuzzle. Special. Anyway, what's happening, y'all? What's good?
Oh man, chilling. You know, I just got done doing the 4-day work stretch. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
I feel great
Yeah.
about it.
Right. Moving on. How you doing, Pesto? Don't
I'm
nobody
doing great,
feel good
man.
about work stretch. That
I'm
I
doing
don't like
great,
that
man.
kind of attitude.
I got a belly full of sushi and a mind full of movies, man.
And a broken cord from a cat.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I replaced it, so that cord's in the
yeah,
garbage now.
yeah. So cats is
Ram
breaking
hate
court.
Ram
Well,
hates cats, apparently.
I
We
don't
found
hate
Yeah,
that out.
dude.
cats. I didn't say that. I said I just here's what I said for the record. Since we're gonna go and talk about stuff I said before we hit record, since we're doing that.
Yeah, we can do
What I
that.
s-
Let's do it.
yeah, what I said was fuck off. That's number one.
Wait. You also said that
Number two,
cats were part bear, I think. Right?
yep, said
Lions,
that too.
tigers, and bears is
Yeah,
what
yeah,
cats
I said
represent.
that. Yeah, I said that. Yeah. Anyway, what I said was I don't understand why people own cats because most of the stories I hear from cats owners are negative. That's all I said. That I hear. That's all I'm saying.
No, you said what I
This is
said.
about movies, man. We're not doing Pet Cemetery. Let's talk about movies. Fuck, man. Shit. So
What
this
movies are
week,
we doing, man?
Yeah, what did we do
you
this
know
week?
what movie? Why don't y'all tell us? Why don't y'all tell the crowd together? Tell them together in unison,
Aren't you
like a
aren't
fucking
you aren't you
choir.
like the
Like a
host?
fucking choir. Why don't
Aren't
y'all
you like
tell?
you're like the host with the
Actually,
most, son?
there really is no official host to this one. We just
Yeah,
kind of or over any of we just doing what we doing.
yeah, but
So
I
how
think
about y'all tell the
me
people?
and Pestilence
Tell the people.
decided that you're the host
Tell
with
the
the
people.
most.
Yeah, I got your
That
host the
is
most
true.
right here. What?
You bring us in with the intros.
All right, intro these nuts. So today, Think About the Flick audience, we are doing Bullet Train, the new one. Apparently, that has to be said because there's an old one, which I just found out
I
today
didn't know there was an
researching
old
movies.
one.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah,
I,
I found that out today researching the new one.
yeah.
So we're doing Bullet Train and what was it? The Last Dragon.
Which people, if you tune into Pick Apart the Flick, if you also look into Live from the Den, you would realize that we just recently
Yes,
interviewed Glen Eaton from The Last Dragon, who played Johnny
Glen
Woo.
Eaton
So
from The Last Dragon. Johnny. So anyway, so yeah, man. Obviously Last Dragon is super old. It's I think I was 7 when
85.
that movie came out. Yeah, I was
85.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe 6. And that was one of those movies you watch over and over back then. I hadn't watched it in many years. Danko, I know that's one of your favorite movies in general, right?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
So we can go ahead and start going with that one. So go ahead, man. Let's talk about it. Talk about it.
I mean, I like the whole I just like the movie from start to finish. I like the character build ups, I like the characters.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like I love the villain. I love the, the image they gave him. Show enough. I mean, there's multiple villains if you look at it. There's Show Enough, which is
Yeah.
Bruce Leroy's
the
direct
main
villain,
villain.
and then
The
there's
main
like
villain.
Eddie Arcadian, who's like the dude that's off in the cut. That's also like the
Yeah,
villain dude with like his little mob and shit, whatever.
yeah, yeah,
Um, but yeah, I love that this movie broke off into, you know, a little bit of 90s hip hop back in the day because Busta Rhymes actually dressed up like Show Enough in one of his videos.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like there's a
The shoulder pad thing was hilarious in terms of looking back and seeing how Show Enough dressed up. I never really thought about the shoulder pad thing. That shit was hilarious. Super
and
funny.
like I feel like he fell out of character, but I feel like he fell out of character a little bit at a couple parts when he's talking, like he's in the theater and he's like, who's the master? And then like, show enough. And then all of a sudden, like, Bruce Leroy could beat you. He's like, what? I feel like he just broke. I don't know. It's like a little weird. Like there's
Like the
random little
voice
parts.
wasn't there. Yeah, I saw that. I noticed that too. Yeah, when you go back and look at the acting, it wasn't that good. I mean, to be honest,
Well,
it wasn't.
think about it. So you're in '85. You have no relative. You
Yeah,
have no known actors in the entire movie, with the
yeah.
except and the only star you really have in the movie that's kind of known
Was
is
Vanity.
Vanity.
Yeah, it was Vanity because he was a music artist,
Oh,
and that and that. Oh, go ahead. What up, bro?
William H. Macy, dog.
But not at the time. He wasn't known.
That's fair. But
He's known now, but not at the time.
that's
Not even a
fair.
little bit. He wasn't known at all. Actually,
It was weird to see him so young.
I know, right? Yeah,
That was
What did
weird.
he do after that movie?
a whole lot of shit.
He was in a lot of shit, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of shit. I mean, that's a whole podcast. Talk about
Yeah,
William H. Macy.
he's
I
been
mean,
a
that's
lot of stuff. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, he's one of those people that just were supporting roles, main roles. You
I mean,
know,
most recently,
he did a lot
the
of shit.
lead on that Shameless show is probably his biggest thing that he's done recently.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was Frank
Yep,
on Shameless. That's right.
he killed it.
Yeah, he has a lot of shit. Um,
He's good.
he was a supporting actor for years until he became that main actor. I think not Shameless. There was something before Shameless, and then Shameless catapulted him even
One of
more.
his funniest roles to me ever in life is fucking Boogie Nights.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But anyway, so back to Last Dragon. Um, yeah, man. Go ahead, keep going. What you were saying, Deku, in terms of show enough and what else? What other things did you think about it? Like,
Well, obviously I like the Motown influence. I like the musical influences in the whole movie. Uh
yeah,
I think it's funny that Bruce Leroy's master kind of punks him a little bit and
yeah,
has him like searching for a fucking fortune cookie company and shit. Like,
yeah. On some bullshit with
and
some
then, and then
fucking
and then dude
dudes getting
comes
high in the
back.
back.
Dude comes back and he pulls the fucking fortune out of the cookie. He plays with some
And
more.
hands it to him. Yeah,
And then dude's like, "What does this mean? Are you going on
Like
a great
nothing.
quest?" He's like, "No, I'm
Yeah,
going to visit my family in Florida."
I'm
yeah,
going to visit
yeah.
my mom in Miami.
Yeah, I thought it was funny how much of a comedy it still was. It was pretty funny, like how ridiculous some of it was. Um, I thought it was also funny just in terms of like how, like, I don't know, it was like kung fu was the thing in an era where, I mean, there were already guns around. Like, it was just funny to me that they would make this kung fu movie in a hood like that. It was like there were already guns around in that time. You know what I mean? Like, it was right before crack. I will say that it was right like a year or two before crack. But I mean, it was just the whole kung fu aspect was funny to watch in that hood aspect. Again, I guess is what I should say. I forgot about how funny that shit is. You know what I'm saying? It was like I'm gonna get you sucker kung fu, basically, before I'm gonna get you sucker.
Yeah, shown up was like he's the shogun of Harlem. Like,
Yeah, like what does
Yeah.
that even fucking mean? I thought that was funny as fuck. Yeah. Yo, and I thought the little brother was hilarious. Okay, there was one part of it where I thought the little brother was hilarious because at the end he said a line. He's like he said something about his older brother about Leroy, and he said to the little dude at the end, he's like, "No, that's my brother." You know what I mean, or something like that. And I was like, "Yo, that's just as bad as you got the juice now, man." I really thought that when I was watching it. I was like, "Yo, that line was just as bad as like that last line of Juice." Juice is a fucking amazing movie. Love it. That last line.
yeah, the last line is real whack. It's so whack.
Yeah,
I mean, if you think about it, Omar Epps endings in a lot of his movies are kind of trash.
Omar Epps has some interesting. Omar Epps is a great actor, but he has some very corny parts in movies.
Yo,
You know what I
speaking
mean?
of Richie, the little brother, and Denku might remember this part better, is because you reminded me of this shit before we even like when we came into the podcast and you were saying like about the intro and you started making your voice going like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. He fucking mocks Leroy like right away, where he says some shit to him. What does he say? Where he says it like in
I
that
forget
voice
it.
twice. I can't remember what he says, but it was fucking hilarious. He just says
Yo,
something to him in like a fucking real plain like farmer voice, and it's just like fucking giving him some shit.
Man, while he was talking to him about how he doesn't even own a paintbrush.
So yeah,
Yeah, he's
yeah,
telling me he doesn't own a paintbrush for making love and shit like that. It was during
yeah,
that conversation.
He wouldn't even know what to do with that.
yeah. So how many people y'all think in this movie knew any type of martial arts? Because remember we were talking to
Oh my
Glenn
God.
and he said he didn't know any martial arts. He knew how to imitate martial arts.
Yeah, yeah,
So
and that was new to me. I literally thought
yeah,
that he was like a martial artist, but apparently
man,
he's just
nah,
practices
he just
boxing.
yeah, he knows he practices boxing and he knows how to imitate different things, and so he imitated. How many people y'all think knew martial arts in this movie? Because there's a lot of martial arts that look. I mean, for the year, it looks somewhat real, but I
I
guess
think
you can kind of
I
fake it.
think
I don't
only
think very many.
I think only Bruce Leroy, and
Yeah,
I think maybe the
Show Enough definitely didn't know
he
goddamn thing.
definitely didn't know. But
Slaps.
but
Yo,
I
he
think
beat that dude's head into the fucking thing about 80
Yeah, just
times. I
like
started I
gah,
started to
gah.
rewind and count it. I started to rewind and count it. See how many times he was like, bow, bow, bow. I was like, dog. I was sitting there high as shit, like, niggas, he did it again. He did it again.
but I,
He did it again.
but I think
He
I
did it
think
again.
I think Bruce Leroy knew. I think he knew how to actually fight. And then I
Yeah.
also think so there's a
Vanity.
scene no, no. So there's so the scene where they're all in the club fighting a bunch of different fighters, right? I think
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
the so the little kid that's part of Bruce Leroy's camp that fights with Johnny Woo,
The small
Yeah.
Asian kid.
the small Asian kid, I think he actually knew how to fight because he actually is he's a professional
He
stuntman
did some
fight
crazy
double like
kicks.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Like he's
okay, word.
he's a stunt double, like fight double in tons of shit now. So
That's dope. Okay, I didn't know that. We have to look him up.
I was
We might
trying
have
to
to start doing better notes of like writing down people's names and
yeah,
all this kind of
I
stuff.
was actually trying to get him to, but that one didn't work out.
But he punked out on us.
I could actually get you his name. Hold on one
Dog,
second.
we
No,
gotta
no,
get
don't say his
Ram
name on
we
here.
gotta
No,
get
no.
we gotta get
Why not?
Ram a fucking wig and dress him up like show enough, bro. Cause he can do the look, the eyes, bro. He was just doing it.
No, the fuck we don't. That's just what I be doing.
Ernie Reyes Jr. Ernie Reyes Jr. is who I'm talking about that I think actually is
Oh, I know that
a
name. I
fighter.
know that
Yeah,
name.
yeah, he's done stunts and fight doubling for tons of movies.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
Ernie. Yeah, Ernie Reyes Jr. Shout out. Hopefully he's still alive.
No.
He's definitely alive. I tried to get him on the
Oh
podcast.
yeah, you said that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, he's dead to us now. He's dead to us.
Yeah, he's definitely
All
still
right,
alive. Yeah.
so I don't know. I mean, it's not. You can't really go in depth with this movie too much. It was a spoof karate movie. You know what I mean? Okay, I will say this: Barry Gordy, did the made the movie basically, and then did the music and shit. Obviously, because Barry Gordy, if people don't know, is Motown. It's,
Yeah.
and the Motown, it was kind of crazy with DeBarge popping on screen. I forgot about DeBarge being in it myself. I forgot he would. But it was like music videos within the movie. Like,
Oh yeah.
you know
And
what I
and
mean? It was really
a lot of them were like corny, like
a
cheesy
lot.
80,
All of
like
them were
almost
corny.
all of them, yeah.
Even the
Like
DeBarge song, which was in the heat of the hill, the mountain night. That's the shit right
yeah.
or or like or like
there.
like Bruce Leroy when he ain't even fucking paying attention to Vanity because Bruce Lee's on the fucking
Yeah, dude.
Bro. Yo, the Bruce Lee reference through the whole thing is hilarious in itself.
Yeah, that and
Um,
like, I think my favorite show enough moment is when he's in the pizza place ripping up the thing, and at the very end, he looks in that music. He's like, "Who turned this music? Like, who turned this bitch on?"
yeah,
That
yeah.
bitch, and he just kicks the kicks the machine.
It was so
I was
stupid.
dying. It was so
Okay,
good, so
so
good though.
yeah, it was great. It was fucking funny as fuck. The whole family part, every scene with the family, me was like, oh man, they're going overboard with spoofing this shit. But what was it?
Pop's
The
hair, man.
I mean, come on, just Pops. That's the only person you noticed. I mean, show nothing
But I
left alone.
mean, yeah, but Pops' hair, like he just like they really like, come on,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I mean, I hear
Just
you.
cut
Yeah,
it all off, dog.
I
Like
mean, yeah.
you can't
Well,
be that shiny up top and then
80s,
just
bro.
have this like fucking clown curl around the side.
It's the 80s. It's the 80s. It's that Homedy Clown shit.
No,
It's the
you,
80s.
you know what line I always just randomly do. You know how you said like you had a bunch of lines from um what movie was we were watching? You
I don't know.
Higher Learning. You had a bunch of lines from
Yep.
Higher Learning that you would say like randomly. So the
Yep.
line in this movie that I constantly say in everyday life, and I still say it now. I just randomly say it, and I'm just like, "Yo, my man, what it look like?"
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I do a different
Yeah.
voice. Yo, my
Yeah.
man, what it look
What it
like?
It
look
looked like
like.
it.
The pizza.
It's too funny. Oh shit. So what y'all give it? Let's go. Bong bong.
So I'm a little biased because I love the movie. But based on rewatching it, the corny aspects,
What do you
80s.
mean? What corny aspects?
Stop it. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. There's
A lot of corny. Yeah.
dog, when he feeds the fucking
The
piranha
whole
to
thing's
fucking
corny.
half the
Yeah.
cow. Come on, son.
I mean, piranha's got to eat, B.
Lots of funny, goofy shit. I'll give it.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 2.5.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Pesto.
I give it a 2 flat because I don't have the same nostalgia attached to it. But I mean,
Yeah.
there is definitely there. It still gets a 2 because there's some great like obvious great one-liners. There's some true comedy in there. There's like some very.
Yeah.
It's a cult classic for a reason. It's withstood the test of time. Whether it's
Yeah.
just to be laughed at or be a punching bag, like it's still like it brings something to the table. So I got to give it something. But like it by no
Yeah.
means is a brilliant movie. Like
Well, no, there is brilliance within it.
absolutely,
I agree.
absolutely,
But I
I agree with
agree.
that.
It's this movie did not withstand the test of time to me. Um, I thought. I thought. I mean, it did nostalgia sake wise. I mean, it was this is a cool movie I used to watch. It was cool, but yeah, I gave it about 2.5 too. And the 0.5 is also for nostalgia sake. I could have given it 1.5 if I was being real critical, but so maybe it's point for nostalgia's sake. But yeah, I mean, it's what it is. It was funny to watch again. Plot's horrible. I mean, it's funny, but the fight scenes aren't realistic. I mean,
You got Bruce Leroy walking around looking like
spoof though, but it's a
Raiden for half
spoof.
the movie.
Yeah, that was great. But here's the thing: why did he talk so weird? That was one thing that really threw me off. He didn't have to talk weird.
No, but my favorite is when he went to the Asian dudes for
Isn't
the
that how
first
he
time.
talks in real life though? I think he talks like
Oh
that in real
shit,
life.
bro. I have no
Bro,
clue.
I
I
would be
wish we had
remiss.
research people where I could be like, "Yo, go look that up. See if he talk like that."
I would be remiss if I didn't mention this, but the first time he goes to the fortune cookie factory and the Asian dudes, the
Oh
one
man,
dude
the
making
last
fun of him for
Yeah.
talking
Oh man,
Asian, like
dude.
the Asian guy making fun of the Asian accent was
we go
fucking
up,
Yo,
we go
hilarious.
chop chop.
yo, they were talking mad shit about him being black and all kind of shit. That shit was mad funny,
Uh,
man. Oh, it was great.
We go
Yeah, and they
chop chop
smoking
our way
joints
up
and
to
shit.
town.
Yeah.
yeah, oh man, that shit was killing me.
So what does that give it? Like what, a 2.25, I guess, something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
Two,
if you
whatever.
break if we're doing the quarter, I mean,
Two
we
to
could
two
do
and
the
a half.
quarters.
I
I,
think you
We're gonna
rounded
give
up
it.
to 2.5 because it's
We'll
two
go
two and a
two and a
halfs and a
half.
two.
We'll give it a
Yeah.
2.5. All
yeah,
right.
so
So
Last Dragon 2.5,
Last Dragon 2.5. I still recommend people see it if you've never
Oh,
seen it.
absolutely.
It's a 80. It's a eight.
two
And
and
that
a
movie's from
half,
1985.
two and a
Yeah.
half claws for the people that know how we
Yep.
do the grading system.
Well, where I would say it withstood the test of time, I want to clarify, is not necessarily as like a movie to just to watch, but like in
Yeah.
terms of like there's a lot of shit to be sampled out of there. There's a lot of stuff to be referenced out of there. Like
Yeah,
Denku says, in his everyday
it
life,
has
like that.
been.
That's where it has withstood the test of time. Like
Yeah, it
there's
has.
like
That's true.
Yeah.
there's
That's true.
lines and stuff
I
like
was
that.
being harsh.
When you
I was
reach
being
the
harsh.
upper level.
Yo, you know what's funny is the movie was the whole movie had fucking positive ass messages in the songs
Oh,
too.
absolutely. So
That was
positive.
wild. I know, but that was super wild to me because I was like, man, it really changed like 2 years later, 3 years
It was like a
later.
workout video.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Well,
I don't even
yo,
have a paintbrush.
I was surprised I ain't seen no leg warmers in this motherfucking movie, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Tights and
hold
leg
on.
warmers.
Hold on. You know what what like the goofiest fucking costumes? It's not completely Show Nuff. Show Nuff's fucking crew. What the
Yeah.
fuck does Show Nuff's crew have on? Like the female
The
female crew?
girls, yeah. Yeah, they
Bro, what
were
the fuck
do
is
you want to
that
kiss
shit?
the fist? That chick was looking
I have no clue,
like
bro.
Krusty the Clown, bro.
I have no clue.
And they could
I mean, I
not have,
got.
and honestly, they could not have gotten a more annoying voice singer than Eddie Arcadian's chick.
It seemed like they just basically
Oh,
said, "Hey, how ridiculous can we make the costumes?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like to me.
You know, I found
But
out.
anyway,
So the chick that and I can't, again, like you said, I can't think of her name, but the girl that played like the girl that Eddie Arcadian was trying to get on the Vanity show, or
yeah,
what the fuck?
the redhead that played his wife.
She's actually
yeah.
she was actually a she doesn't even act in any other shit. She's actually a Broadway actress.
Yeah, what's her name, man? What's her name? I thought I knew her name, but anyway. But yo, she seemed like she was like kind of a you ever heard of what's her name? Damn man, she looked like Bernadette Peters, but I don't know if that was Bernadette Peters or not. I don't think it was. But there's this like chick that was a annoying voice and she had an accordion and she was a comedian. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know, but
No,
Oh
she
but
man.
but the look
She's
that
from like the 80s too. It's like
she
almost like they
had
were oh sorry.
reminded me of fucking Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah, it's like they were trying to like. I felt like they were trying to do this chick I'm talking about, like a Cyndi Lauper type thing, and like Weird Al Yankovic, like kind of spoofing it. You know what I mean? Maybe not Weird Al, but like it seemed like they were kind of spoofing the whole fucking shit. Like, because she was horrible. The songs they made were purposely bad. That was fucking hilarious. That was one of the funniest parts of it to me was how bad her songs were.
her
Yeah, they
songs
were
were fucking horrible.
yeah, they
I
were
mean,
real bad, man.
horrible. Voice was just like, oh my god, please take me out now. I almost turned off the movie because of them damn songs. Yeah. I almost pulled a Celtic pride on them motherfuckers.
Oh man, not
But
the
yo,
Celtic
so
Pride grade.
so no, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't Teen Wolf, the new one. For the record, everybody, if you ever hear us say Teen Wolf, we are not talking about Michael J. Fox Teen Wolf. That is a great movie still to this day. I haven't even watched it in a while, but I know it is. Here's the thing. We were talking about the new Teen Wolf. Shit is garbage. We will fucking go
Zero
to the
claws.
death saying that 0.33, I
Nubs.
think it
It's
got.
fucking nubs, dude.
It got
Yeah, it's pretty
0.33.
trash, terrible movie.
Double bear trap. That's a dead grizzly, bro.
So the next movie is the newest Bullet Train from 2022 with Brad Pitt, dude from Atlanta, black dude. I forget his name. Damn man, who else? Else was in this? Uh, I don't know. I recognize a lot of the actors. I just don't remember the names.
Yeah, there was a ton of
Man,
famous people, and there's I mean like
the cast was crazy.
there's a fighter dude from the Raid series who's
Yeah.
cold.
Channing Tatum was in there. There's a lot of
Channing
people.
Tatum.
Yeah,
I mean his role is
his role was wild. So,
even Bad Bunny played in the movie.
oh, I don't know what he looks like. So,
Bad Bunny was the wolf.
oh, that was Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, I don't know what he looks like.
Yeah.
That shows how old and how much I don't give a fuck about Bad Bunny. But anyway, yeah, okay. But that changes that because that was actually a very good role. Then he was a pretty good actor. Then that
Yeah.
changes that character for me. I just thought it was some dude.
I
So
didn't
now
know
that
Bad Bunny was a dude, so you got me there.
See, this is a very informative
I
podcast.
was like, oh shit. When he's like, I was like, what? He played the. I was like, he what?
Anybody who
Yeah,
knows who Bad Bunny is very well is looking at us like these motherfuckers. Where have they been?
yeah. Bad
'Cause
Bad
I keep
Bunny
hearing his
is
name, but I don't give a fuck. You know.
he's like the number one reggaeton artist in
All
the
right, who
world right
wants to
now.
go first on this movie? All right, I
Pest.
guess I'll go.
Oh yeah,
I
go
don't
ahead,
know.
buddy.
Go ahead, Pesto. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot to say about it. It was cool. I mean, I do, but at the same time, depends on what y'all
I,
bring up.
I have a lot to say about this movie. I
Yeah, I
like
got a
this
lot
movie a
too.
lot,
I don't
man.
know.
Like
I
this was
love it.
Okay, go ahead.
definitely
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
well, like, dude, I just like it randomly. So like I rewatched it obviously for this, but it's the third time I watched it since it came out. It's
Oh,
not that
okay.
old.
Okay.
When it
Yeah.
first came out, I had no idea, like I didn't hear about this movie. I didn't nothing. I just like opened up Netflix to try and find something, and it was just on the first page, and I figured, screw it, I'll try and watch this. And immediately I was like, man, it drew me in as like I thought it was a Guy Ritchie movie. And I had to look and
Mm-hmm.
I was like, and I was surprised it wasn't because it played like
Mm-hmm.
one. And it like
Mm-hmm.
the labeling of the characters and the bringing the names up on the screen, the having like this great buildup for certain character like with the wolf, having the great buildup of the character that you're like, oh shit, and then he's just fucking gone. Like they
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
flush
Yeah.
him out. Like that's a pretty special thing. And like also like dialogue wise, like there's very few movies that I don't want to say break the fourth wall, but like have that
Oh man, I love it.
like with
Yeah.
Brad Pitt at like talking to the older guy at the end. The old guy's like, I got a story to tell you. And he's like, no, I'm good. He's like, no, it's a short one. He's like, no, really, I'm fine. He's like, no, just real
Yeah.
quick. And he's like, I'm seriously,
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it. Like,
Yeah.
fuck off, basically. Or like
Yeah.
with the antidote thing and the chick, and telling her like, you don't have another one? Like, what? Oh, come on, man. Like, oh shit. Like, that shit's hilarious to me. I love
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
just matter of fact, because that's how fucking people are, man. That's how people talk. People are very matter
Right.
of fact like that. And I mean, first and foremost, I think like my favorite character then would have to be Lemon, man, because like
Lemon, my
the
favorite. I love it.
fucking the
That's the
Thomas the
train dude.
Tank,
Yeah. The
yeah,
train.
the
Yeah.
Thomas the Tank
Thomas Train
engine,
dude.
like reading
Yeah.
people, man, is like,
That
oh,
was dope.
I loved it. And like the putting
That
the
was
sticker
that
on
was
the
funny.
girl, like that shit was so
That was
good.
brilliant. So yeah, yeah. No, I feel you on all of that. I felt like I thought it was a spoof on the Guy Ritchie, Kill Bill, Tarantino type movies. I felt that right away. Like, oh, okay, they're kind of spoofing that. That's you know what I mean. Not in a bad
Right.
way, but like purposely. And I didn't realize it was a comedy until I got into it a little bit. I'm like, oh, this is like action comedy. I didn't look at any of that. I didn't know shit about this movie either. I just heard about it coming out, the famous names, and then whatever. And then I just watched it. And I thought it was dope. I thought the dialogue was cool. I thought some of the jokes were corny as fuck. I thought some of the dialogue was weird. My favorite thing about it was the way everything connected. I mean, obviously, but that I thought it was brilliant how they did that. You know what I mean? In terms of the how there were scenes you saw with Brad Pitt and didn't know the the poison chick. I can't remember all the names. The
Hornet.
Hornet, the
Hornet.
Yeah.
Hornet. Didn't know she was in there as the cake decorator. Like, yo, that shit was fire like that. Um, I just thought like I'm glad I knew it was fantasy. I thought they went overboard with some of the um purposely overboard action scenes. I thought they even went overboard with that. I know it's supposed to be fantasy like that. I know it is. But I thought that even went a little too far for the continuity of the movie. You know what I mean? Like dude jumping back on the train and shit. Like
Yeah,
some of that was
that
like
or like the
it just
train like crashing and them all living.
right. And then they splitting through the neighborhood and all that shit and Brad Pitt flying through the air. That part
Yeah.
right, those
I mean,
like,
first of all, the White Death had a sword halfway through his body at that point,
right.
so he survived the train,
Like,
and
yo,
he
there was a
also had a
point when I was
sword
like, okay, it
halfway
just
through
got
his
ridiculous.
body.
It got ridiculous. Yeah, it got ridiculous. No, that not even that's what I'm saying. There was a point when Brad Pitt started fucking with the train where I was like, okay. I think it was when Brad Pitt was driving the train still, and there was no top on the front of the train.
Yeah, and he just
And
like
I was like,
pulls the
I get it.
wires.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like it's supposed to be spoofing like the martial arts fantasy tale shit. You know what I mean? Excuse me. But
Oh,
and I know that sounds weird, but I thought that for the continuity of the movie, they could have ended that movie a half hour earlier. I thought it was a little too long in that sense. But otherwise, I loved it, and I thought it was great. It took me the whole movie to realize how much I liked it, though. Does that make sense? Like I knew it was going to depend on how they wrapped it up. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah,
Because I
yeah.
was like, and I liked it the way they wrapped it up in terms of the story. I just thought some of those scenes were wild. Like really, Brad Pitt's like as as the fucking as the fucking train's crashing.
Didn't he get hit in the face with something?
Oh man, he got
He got
fucked
hit
up
in
the
the
whole
face with
movie,
something
son.
in the slow motion.
But he was a ladybug, B. He was a ladybug. He was
Um,
holding the pain of the earth.
I love the movie. I'm pretty much with Pesto on it. I've also watched it 3 to 4 times since it came out.
No shit.
I love it. I
Okay.
fucking I love the character buildups. Um, it took me so once the train started and you meet the lemon and tangerine characters, I was hooked. Once that
Yeah.
happened, I was completely hooked to the whole movie. I loved lemon and tangerine, the duo.
Oh,
I mean, it was fire. The only thing that I disliked, and I still dislike it, I hate the buildup of who the fucking the main villain is.
Who White Death is?
yes.
The white death.
Well, because there was no like suspense to it. It was somebody you hadn't really seen.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
no,
but
that would have been fine, but
I'm-
the actor should have
I'm
been
talking
somebody that
about
was
who the
like
actor
fire.
is. Like it should have
Okay,
been
that's a different
somebody
story.
way
Okay.
colder to me.
That's
Like,
what I
So,
thought.
so
too.
let me ask
you
you,
picked.
Denko. I've been waiting to ask you
Like
this
they
because
needed
we
Benicio
talked
del
about this a
Toro in
little
that
bit.
fucking role.
Yes,
If
that would
you
have been
could
cold.
pick, if you could pick anyone to have played that role, because I kind of thought about this a little bit, who would you have like thrown in there?
Man, like a Russian dude.
No, he had to be Spanish. He had to be Mexican, right?
No,
Or
no,
No,
some
he
no.
could have
some
been
Latino
Russian. He
descent,
could have
right?
been.
Yeah, I
Well,
guess you
well,
could
He
have
was a
seen
Russian
those.
guy. He was
well.
a big white
He
Russian
was a
guy.
Russian dude.
Oh, that's right. He was Russian. I thought he was. For some reason, I was thinking.
Like
Oh no, I'm thinking of the other guy at the wedding. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
man, you know who would have been cold is why can't I think of his fucking name, man? I can't think of his name. Did you ever see that movie? God damn it! Now I can't think of dude's name. He played like a Russian mob boss in a fucking movie, and I can't think of his fucking name now.
I don't know.
And he would have been cold, but he's older now, so I don't really know if it
But when
would
you
have
say
made
the
sense.
build up to who you're saying the build up to who the actor was. That
Yeah,
is
yeah,
different.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
different
like,
than the character itself, though.
Correct.
when he takes
In the
because
story.
I like the character. I like that they built this character up that basically ran the entire organization. That shit's dope. And then you find out later on that like one of the dudes that was part of the original organization is still alive, and and he works for the White Death now, even though the White
Yeah.
Death fucking killed his wife and did all
Right.
this shit. Like it's crazy. Like the
Yeah,
whole
that was
like
wild.
you said, the whole tie-ins to all the different things is super dope. But
Even the water bottle.
yeah, yeah, the water bottle.
Yes.
That was
I thought that
hilarious.
was
Yes.
wild. When I saw that, I was like, "Word, they going to the water bottle. Word. Let's see where this goes. Let's see where the fuck this goes." I actually
Man,
like that. That's when I was like, "Okay, this is dope." Yeah.
Yeah.
I need hold on. I gotta find out the
I mean, don't
actor.
get me wrong. The water bottle didn't signify it for me. I'm just saying that was one of those added bonuses where I was like, "Oh, okay,
Right.
they killing the tie-in." You know what I mean? Which is why I'm saying it reminded. That's why I'm saying it seemed like they were spoofing all of the Guy Ritchie, the Quentin Tarantino's,
Tarantino,
the
yeah.
Kill Bill styles, all those styles. It seemed like they were trying to perfectly or purposely spoof that. I forget the dude's name who did this movie, but he's good, man. Whoever did this, I forgot who it was, directed it and wrote it. Damn,
I'm in
I
the
had
same
it.
boat as you, man. It wasn't a name that I recognized when I looked it up. I was like,
No,
what?
he's new. He's new. He's a new dude for sure.
I was
But
excited though,
obviously,
because I
he's
was like, shit.
inspired. He's obviously
Yeah.
inspired by those movies. I mean, the Guy
Right.
Ritchie thing, of course. You know
Of
what I
course,
mean?
yeah.
And I
He
also
did
thought it
it.
was
He
done.
did it justice, though. Yeah.
He did it justice in that way. I think I'll be honest. I think I would give this movie better reviews if they made it more realistic than fantasy. You know what I mean? Like Lock, Stock, Smoking Barrels or something like that. You know what I mean? Like somewhere it's actual people as opposed to, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
I can
No,
understand. I mean, I
Without
can
actual
understand
people, but
some
like
people have
I
that.
get it.
without the fantasy shit.
That
But I think it
that
would be even
doesn't.
better to me.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Real quick, Pesto, to go back. So the actors that I would want to play the villain are too old now. That's why it wouldn't make sense now. But
Okay.
actors for me that I think would be dope. And I just watched this movie the other day, just randomly. But the dude that played, I had to look it up. Martin Shokas, the dude that played Yorgi in Triple X, the dude that played the Russian dude in the movie Triple X.
Oh, I've never even seen that movie.
Would have been cold.
Oh,
and
okay.
and Vigo Mortensen. He's the one that played.
Oh yeah, okay.
Viggo Mortensen would have been great.
Yeah,
he would have been cold.
Yeah, definitely can
you'd
get
have been
around
great.
that.
But
I
they're
could
too
see.
old. But they're too old now. You know what I'm saying?
I could see
Yeah.
long-haired. I could see long-haired Liam Neeson, like the Qui-Gon Jinn role. Liam Neeson.
Yeah, I mean,
bring back the long hair.
any haired Liam Neeson.
Any haired but long-haired Liam Neeson
Yeah.
would have been funny.
Yeah.
Or if you wanted to go more into the comedy side, I think Christopher Walken would have been hilarious too.
That
If
would
they
have been
really
good,
wanted to
That would've
get
been
into the
crazy.
comedy.
that would have been real good. He actually could have played that character now. Even.
Oh my God, his dialogue too, he would have just crushed
Yeah.
it. But I mean,
Yeah.
this is the thing, is like I agree with Denko 100% because that was my biggest thing. I was like, oh man, because they had him wearing a mask. It was like they were building up as like you're gonna know this actor, and
Oh,
you'd
I
be like,
agree.
oh shit. And then it was just like he
That's
played the
true.
role great. He did such a
No,
good
he
job. I
did.
was
He
like, man,
killed
I
it.
was like pissed. I was like, man, like
But
what the fuck?
I
Like,
still don't know his name. I recognize his
right.
face, and
I
I
just
knew
like
who
it
he
blue
was.
balls me. I
Yeah,
was
I
like,
knew who he
man,
was,
blue
but I
balls
was
this.
like, but I was the whole time still. I was like, I still right now. I was like, what is it? Who is that though?
His
I know his
name's.
face, but who
I
is
could
it?
tell it's Matthew Shannon. He's actually been in other movies,
He's
but
been in a
it's
lot of shit. I know, and I know his face from movies, but I don't. I couldn't
Yeah.
have told you who it was.
He
So yeah, I
wasn't
hear
on the
you.
level that
Michael
I
Shannon. Michael Shannon
expected.
is his name, and
Yeah,
he's
they
actually
missed on
been
that.
in.
He's been in a lot of shit. Yeah.
Yeah, but he ain't been in nothing great though.
Well, he's had great supporting roles though, for sure.
Oh, he was the dude fucking B Rabbit's mom in 8 Mile.
Yep, sure was. He sure was. No, he was. That's
Yeah,
fucking great.
okay.
Oh, you gonna be a rabbit? Anyway, yeah, that's fucking funny as
Greg
fuck.
Buell. Greg Buell.
Yeah, great. Oh wow,
Greg, yeah, Greg.
wow. Him and my uncle went to school, and I don't forget what the fuck he said. But anyway, wow. Should we do an 8 Mile at some point, or are we gonna scratch that one from the board?
I think it would be funny to do 8 Mile actually.
Yeah, we could do it again. I've seen it so many times. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, I have.
I mean, we've all seen the unedited version on USA, all that shit.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, that's off subject. Let's get back to it. Bullet Train. Anything else you want to talk about? Okay, who's your favorite character? Y'all going with Lemon, both of y'all?
Yeah, I love Lemon. Lemon's
That was
great.
Lemon is
that wasn't
so
my
good,
favorite
man.
character. My favorite character was the girl.
The little girl?
Oh, the Prince.
The prince?
Yeah, the Prince,
Scout?
whatever. Yeah. Because I want to know, did y'all know right away when she spit at dude at the sun? Did y'all know it was his daughter already?
Wait.
The first time I watched
when
it,
did y'all realize the first time you watched it? When did you realize it was his daughter?
It
was black. It was the White Death's daughter.
It wasn't right at the end for me. I feel like I had a suspicion.
Yeah, and see, I knew as soon as she. Remember when the brothers leaned against the window dead with the glasses
Right.
on the rabbit?
I
When
think that
she
might have been
spit at
it
him
too.
right there.
I think that might have been
when she
it too.
spit at him, I was like, "Oh, that's his sister." 100%. There was a
Yeah.
jealousy there. That's what I was wondering if y'all knew it before the end. You know what I mean?
To be honest with you, I can't remember the first time I watched it.
You've seen it three times now.
I've seen it 3 times, I can't remember. I feel like it was earlier too, and it could have been the same scene, but I like it isn't imprinted in me that like exactly
I thought that was
when
one
it
of.
would happen.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was one of the dopest things about that character, and I like that character because she kept fooling motherfuckers, and
Oh, absolutely.
it just that whole character to me was super dope to me. But I like Lemon The train shit got on my nerves, though. I'm not gonna lie. Until they wrapped it up. Until they wrapped it up, where I liked the concept of what he was saying, judging people, and it got better as it went along. But it was just kind of like, okay, what are they doing with this? And then when the sticker came into play because he put the sticker on her back, it wrapped it
Yeah.
up. That's what I'm saying. There was a lot of pathways in this movie that they wrapped up at the end nice, but it took the whole fucking movie to wrap it up for me. You
So
know what I'm saying?
so
And
so
that's not bad. I'm just saying it was like it was inching along, and then I was like, okay. You know what I mean? I don't know. I was just that's not
and
that
see
good.
I love those type of movies. That's why Pulp Fiction
Oh,
is
I do
one of my
too.
favorite movies.
Yeah.
I do too. I'm not saying this in a bad way. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it. I'm just saying it took that long to get there. You know what I mean? But that's also why I
The
like
like the
that's why I
diesel
like the
sticker
daughter.
thing,
It's my
like
favorite character.
the amount of times that she got saved like by luck pissed me. It was
Yeah,
like, man, I like her character because she's really well done, but I fucking
yeah,
hate her. Like I hated
yeah.
her.
Of
I was
course,
like,
that's
this
why I like the
bitch,
character.
like
Yeah,
you motherfucker,
yeah.
like especially because like Tangerine was like another one of my favorite. Like I really liked his character too.
I
He'd
didn't
probably
like.
be
I like Tangerine's character. I didn't like the plot line for his character though. Does that make any sense? Like the whole train shit with him getting back on and all of that. I didn't like his whole plot line.
Well, I guess if
But
you don't like the fantasy aspect of it, but I really liked like
yeah,
pretty much everything about like with all of like the fight he had with Brad Pitt where he ends up buying Brad Pitt that water. And Brad Pitt's like,
Hilarious.
"Oh shit, that was so good." He's like, "Man, I gave
Hilarious.
that other
that
guy
was
all my
good.
money to wear
That
that
was
hat."
good.
He's like,
And then he
"He's
hits
like
him with
fucking
the
10
water
quid."
bottles,
And then
right?
they
Yeah, and then he
stopped right, and
throws
then
it
they
at him
stopped.
right away. He's
Yeah,
like, "I
that
suppose you
was
can't
good.
talk this
That
out,
was
huh?"
actually
Like,
fun. That was funny. That was
yeah,
funny.
just
Yeah,
max him with that shit.
yeah. I go like I said, I go back and forth with a lot of things in this movie, but overall, it summed it up well. And I'm weird like that. I nitpick shit too much. There's certain things as I'm watching a movie, I'm like, all right, that just threw me for a loop. So now shit is affected. So
Or
maybe I'm
when he's talking to his
critical.
handler on the phone and he keeps being like, "They're not twins." And she's like, "Yeah, they are. Everybody knows
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
twins."
yeah.
And he's
And
like,
then you
"No,
see
has
later.
anybody ever seen them?" You know, like, has anybody
Yeah.
ever fucking seen them together? So then they end up
Okay.
getting to play that like
Did
fucking
you?
like
Oh,
ruse
sorry.
on the guys for a while with the
Yeah,
briefcase, at the
yeah.
one stop.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Wow, you guys
yeah.
really do look like twins.
Yeah, I thought it
Oh,
was dope that they showed that they grew up later on in the movie. That was a
oh
dope
yeah, I
wrap
love
up
that.
too. Um,
Yeah.
okay, did y'all recognize the voice of his handler?
No, I didn't know until the end.
Y'all didn't? Did y'all know it was Sandra Bullock?
I didn't see. I recognized it was. It was. I recognize. I didn't know exactly who it was, but I recognized that it was somebody that was like really big. I was like, "Fuck,
Yeah,
who is
same
this?"
here.
It was
Yeah, I
pissing me
didn't know it
off.
was
I was like,
Sandra
"Who
Bullock at
is
all.
this?" Because it was a
I
name
know,
that I
and
real. It was a voice
that's
I
what it was.
recognized a lot. I was like, "Oh
Yeah,
man, this is
same
pissing me
here.
off."
And I
I was.
thought I
I
had
was
a
thinking they weren't gonna show her. I was like, I was getting like worried. I was like, "Oh, they better show who the fuck this
same
is."
here, same here.
This is
And
really gonna piss me off.
I thought I knew it was a different voice, and I thought it maybe, and I'm trying to think of who I thought it was, but now I don't remember because now it's already implanted in my brain that it was Sandra
Yeah,
Bullock.
yeah, yeah.
But for a while there, I thought it was a totally different voice, maybe Helen Mirren. No, that wasn't it. But it was somebody's voice that's pretty fucking big, and then it was Sandra Bullock, and I'm like, that's who the fuck it was.
It made me
I
so
knew it,
upset that
Yeah,
I couldn't
yeah.
like I couldn't pinpoint who it was because I was like, man, I should know
I
this.
wanted to. I wanted to get that voice so bad
Yeah.
because I had a feeling they were gonna show her. You know what
Bro,
I'm
she
saying?
was so mad when the shit fell on her car.
Oh, that was hilarious. Actually, that was one
That
of the
was
funny
really
parts.
funny. I love it too because like Brad
He's
Pitt
like,
kept
"Hey,
getting
man,
like
boom."
he's like, yeah, he has the worst luck, and he's like, right down to where
He's like, this is a really nice car. She's like,
Yeah,
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
yeah. When he asks about the White Death, like why, like why did you do this to everybody? And he gets through the whole
yeah.
story, and then he gets to him, and he's like, yeah, and you Carver, and he's like, I'm not fucking Carver, and it's like fucking
Yo,
Ryan Reynolds, like that shit.
that was a good dialogue scene too. He's like, wait a minute, you think I'm Carver, bro? He's like, yeah,
God
he's a
damn
weak ass assassin. He's a weak
it!
assassin.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not fucking Carver. God damn it! Oh,
Actually,
And then
sorry,
when the prince got splattered, come on, man. At
yo,
the very end.
oh yeah, with Lemon in the truck. Yeah,
Man.
I'm so glad that
there was
he
some
got
funny
the
shit in that. There was some funny
he
shit
got
in
the
that.
he got the vengeance on it.
Here's
And
what I don't
dude, that's like
understand
all
though.
the way down to like when he gave Tangerine when he found him dead and he gave him the Thomas
Yeah, that was
sticker.
funny as fuck.
It
Well,
was
that was
funny, but it
funny
was
because he
also
wasn't
so
dead.
sad, bro. It was like, man, no, when he
Well,
found
no,
Tangerine. and he's just like, you've
Oh,
always
oh, yeah,
been
okay,
Thomas,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
That
yeah.
shit was so
Okay,
sad. I was like,
I
oh
didn't feel,
man.
I didn't
And
feel
it
that.
showed them as it
I
showed them
didn't
as
feel
little
emotional
people.
about
He
that at
didn't
all. Like
feel
zero.
bad. It was
I didn't
sad.
feel. No, it
You
wasn't.
felt nothing.
It was
No,
sad,
I
man.
felt nothing. No, there was no part of this movie where I was like, oh, not even like a tiny fucking
Dude,
morsel of
I
it.
definitely did, man.
It was. I
I
mean,
connected
it's
with
a
those two.
fantasy violence movie. I mean, like what? Yeah, I felt bad for him, but not the guy who got his fucking have his head blown off. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
like
I didn't
what?
like that guy.
No, I didn't like that guy either. And they weren't playing
Tangerine
"I'm
killed mad
Forever
people, yo.
Blowing Bubbles." They weren't
Everybody
playing that
kills
shit in the
mad people
background.
though.
Showing him with like a train as a kid, like
I don't know, yo. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. That's fucking funny though.
uh,
But okay, let me ask you this: how did Brad Pitt get bit by the or get the venom stuck in him once and get bit by the snake? Nothing.
see, I
I'm
think they were
confused
just
about
trying to,
that.
because like at first that was the thing that I
The
thought too
luck
when I
thing,
first watched
the
it. I
luck
was just
thing.
like,
Did
no, I
he
didn't think
get
it was a
bit? He
luck
got bit
thing.
by the snake?
He got bit
Yeah,
by the
in the
snake because he
hand.
tried to reach for the he tried to reach for the suitcase and move with the chick when the
That's
Japanese guy sat next to him. He's like, "Let's go,"
that's
and
after
then he
Hornet
gets
stabbed
bit,
him
and
with
then
the
he's like,
fucking thing.
"Ah!" And he puts the snake in the toilet, and he
Mm.
like takes it
Oh
off his
yeah.
hand,
Yeah,
and he
yeah,
puts
yeah.
the sign on there.
And then he says,
But
"Oh, I got some venom earlier because she had stabbed him with a little bit of the
Yeah,
tip of the
so
fucking
I
thing."
thought he already had the anti venom.
he
Maybe
had the
that's why.
anti venom in his body, and he even commented on that. He's like,
I know,
"I so I
but
guess I'm
he said
good."
from earlier. He said from earlier
Right.
because he had already got stabbed with that thing. But
Do you? But this is the thing. Do you know how anti venom works?
no, but she didn't hit him with anti venom. She hit him with the shit.
No,
Right,
but
but
he
then she
yeah,
also
but then he
she pulled out the thing that was the anti
and
venom
then
because
he took
he
it.
stabbed her with it because she stabbed him in
Oh,
the
that's
hand.
what I
He
missed.
stabbed her
Okay, I
with
was
it.
confused.
Yeah,
All
yeah, yeah.
right, I
So
was
then
totally confused on that.
they had a stare down him and the Hornet, and then
Yeah.
she pulled
And
Yeah,
that
out
I
that
and
remember
anti
that.
venom.
I didn't
yeah, and
realize there was two different ones.
yeah,
I
and
Two
thought
that
they
and
were
different
that's
both.
ones.
that's when he
That's
was
why he
like,
was giving her the shit. That's
yeah,
why
he
he was
was
like,
like,
"Why the
"Oh, you
fuck
don't
don't you
have
have another
another
one of
one?"
those?
Yeah.
Like you're stabbing people with this poison all the time. You don't have more than one of those, you dumbass."
Got you. Okay, that made sense. I was confused
Yeah.
on that shit
I
the
love
whole
that he
time.
was hitting her with the like, "Can I get you water? Like you want a blanket?" Like
Yeah, that
she's
was
just like
fucking funny as
fucking
fuck.
dying.
Fucking
No, I was
bleeding out
weak when
her
he's like, "You want me to
eyes.
hold your hand? You want me to hold your hand?" You know? I was like, "Yeah, I want you to
She
hold
did
my
a lot
hand,
better
motherfucker."
job of dying than Tyra Banks in Higher Learning. I'll tell you that.
Oh, 100%. That girl's a good
She
actress
sold
though.
it.
That girl who was
Yeah.
in that role is a very good actress.
Oh, she
Um,
killed it.
I've seen her in other shit.
I also
Yeah,
love how many times it happened to Brad Pitt that he ran into somebody that like wanted to kill him, and he's like, "What the fuck?" Like the wolf guy was like, "I'm gonna fucking kill." And he's like, "I don't even
yeah.
know you, man. Like, what the fuck? Like, who the fuck
And
is
then he
this guy?"
realized that every time he's like, "Oh yeah, that motherfucker, yeah,
Yeah, but he's just
yeah,
like, "Oh, let's
absolutely,
just
I
be a
absolutely
lesson
did
that
kill your whole
anger,
family." Yeah.
anger is a horrible, you know." Like, oh
His
man.
dialogue was the best dialogue to me besides the train dialogue. The
Yeah.
lemon and tangerine dialogue, definitely the best dialogue between them two for sure.
Oh,
But
those two are great.
but just one single person, Brad Pitt, his whole inner
Oh
struggle
yeah.
dialogue was fucking great. The whole fucking movie, it was great. It was good. That was one of the best things about the movie was dialogue.
I
It might be
yeah,
the
I
best thing.
agree.
How many lines did Channing Tatum have?
About 5 or 6, and they were
And
maybe 4.
it was all
Oh,
gay
fucking
sex.
fire!
Yeah,
Oh,
all
wow,
like
the
weird
fuck.
like
Like what the
He
fuck?
was like,
I like the way he walks.
he was like,
He has a good walk.
is this
Wow.
the sex stuff? Is this
he
the
has an
sex stuff?
Yeah.
incredible walk. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Anyway, that was wild. I thought it was. I think that's a wild, that's a wild role to just say, yeah, I'll do that one. Sure.
Do you think that was
But he's so ornate.
do you think that was his briefcase that they fucking took and they accidentally opened that had all the panties and the dildos in it? Do you think that was Channing Tatum's character's
Oh
briefcase?
shit! I never
Oh, I
thought
guess
about
so.
that.
Yeah, that
That
probably
was
is.
crazy.
I know your ass has seen it 3, 4 times now
I
for
never
sure.
thought of
Oh,
that.
Think
That's
about that.
crazy.
Yeah, for sure. That was definitely his briefcase. 100%.
oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fucking great, actually.
He was
Um,
ready.
so what we talking about?
We should probably
Drum
give it a
roll.
rating system.
Yeah.
Who's breaking it down? Who's giving the rating first?
I'll get mine
I mean,
first.
I'll go. Oh yeah, go
So
for
it
it.
don't matter.
Bram, go ahead.
Um, wow, this is hard, man. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. This is very hard for me because I liked it. I really liked the movie. I did. I didn't cut it off. There was one point when I almost did, and I just said, "No, Ram, relax, smoke the rest of this bowl and see how you feel." And I liked it. I really liked the movie. I really did. The cast is phenomenal. You know what? I'm gonna go 3.5. Um, and only because there's holes for me. There was a lot of holes in terms of whack parts. There were some whack parts to just me personally, where I was like, okay, this is like the dude had like Tangerine hopping back on the train and Brad Pitt flying through the air. Those really, I know it's fantasy, but it takes away from the continuity and entertainment of the movie. It's like, oh come on, that you went too far. So that's why it's 3.5 and not 4. But I thought it was overall great. I thought the dialogue carried the movie. And anytime a dialogue carries a movie, you're gonna automatically get 3 from me. So 3.5. I can't go no higher than that though, personally. But I thought it was good. I mean, that's still a good score. You know what I'm saying? 3's average, so 3.5 is good. You know, so 4 is great. 5 is incredible. So 3.5.
All right.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'll give it a 5, bro. I'll be honest. Like this is one of my favorite movies I've seen in a really long time for a
Word.
lot of reasons. I really like. I love that genre of movie. Um, I like honestly like I'm not torn either way. If they would have been more realistic with it, I think I would have been cool with that. Because there was times
Yeah.
where I was just like, the first time I saw the Tangerine get back on the train, I was like, what in the fuck?
Yeah.
Um, but like I get over it. It's not the end of the world to me that they like really
It's
lean into the
not. I
fantasy
just prefer
aspect of it. It doesn't
realistic
really,
movies for me.
especially when you like break down the dialogue to the point where like the fucking henchmen opening the briefcase and they're just like,
Yeah,
why do we
that was
always gotta
great.
open the briefcase, man?
Yeah,
Like this is gonna be a bomb or something, man. Like these
that was
masks
good.
ain't gonna protect us. Like you fucking
Yeah,
kidding me? Like they
yeah.
fucking like were really leaning into they knew how kind of ridiculous all of
Yeah, I
that
thought the
was.
dialogue was the best thing about it. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, or even like, Brad Pitt like grabbing the train book that had the instructions and finding the brake section in English. And he's like,
Yeah,
"Oh, we're good, man." And then it just flies out the fucking window and he's like,
yeah,
"Ah." Like fuck.
yeah.
Like all of it's fucked. I don't know. I think they did their due diligence all the way around. I think I loved all of the characters. My only slight critique, like Denku said, was I really wish that the build up for that character would have led to a greater payoff in terms of who the actor was. But outside
Right,
of
right.
that, man, like there wasn't anything else that I felt needed to necessarily be changed. I think like a lot of the actors delivered incredible performances all the way down to like that the prince, the girl that like I fucking hated her, but like man, I hated her because she was great.
Yeah,
Like they even
yeah,
like commented, Lemon commented during it, like you're good. Like fuck you. Like
yeah, yeah,
this
yeah.
bitch is good.
For
Like
sure.
she's put on a great performance, and I think he won like some awards for his performance because man, he was
Oh, did he?
incredible.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
believe he won some
So,
awards
so
like that, and
yeah, he
I
was real good. He was real
every
good.
time I watch it, I'm just like, man, just like and like you said, him and Tangerine, the dialogue between them as brothers and
Yeah.
as they are twins, you can tell the way that they
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
to each other, like, you know, Lemon never bleeds, and like the way that they're able to give each other shit, but also like you could tell like they fucking love each other to the extent that he's ready to kill Brad Pitt on sight because
right,
he
right.
like he
Yeah,
killed him. So it's like
yeah,
there's a
yeah,
lot of depth to it, and there's a lot of like you said, the connections were on point, all the way down to them fucking breaking down the water bottles journey. Like,
yeah. That was dope.
man, it was incredible to me. And for a movie that I did not know was coming, it wasn't something that was like heavily advertised ahead of time. I don't think it was like just kind of something that I'm sure it got a pretty good push because when it came out there, it was like the number one recommended thing immediately the first day that it was out. But
Yeah.
outside of that, I don't know if there was a big push ahead of time for people that really knew that this movie was coming. So it was fucking knocked it out of the park for me.
Word.
Yeah.
Right on. We got a
Five,
5 and a
five for sure.
3.5.
Yep.
Um, there's not a lot of movies, especially in the newer age. I think I said this before. I mean, there's movies I would go back. Like I think I said Woman King, I would watch again because it was tight. There's not a lot of whole movies that do that. But I haven't watched it a second time. This movie, I actually think I watched it 4 times, man. There ain't a whole lot of movies, new movies that make me want to watch them that many times. I'm gonna give it a 5 too. I love it. I love the movie.
Wow. All right. All
I
right. So it's like basically a 4.5 base right there. That's one of the higher rated movies so far. Yeah, and here's the thing, guys. I don't think I will watch it again, and I think that has to take it down a little bit for me too. Like I liked it, but I don't think I will go back and watch it again. I don't, you know. So like that's why that 3.5 is appropriate for me. I think. But
Yeah.
hey, I'm not
Yeah,
criticizing y'all
man.
loving the movie. Y'all
No,
love what y'all love. I like what I
we ain't.
like.
I
Nah,
mean
dog.
that's why I
But
speak apart
y'all
the
are
flick.
stupid. No, I was playing.
That's
But you're
that's
wrong.
that's why I pick apart the flick. That's why
Yo, for everybody watching this show, Rams right, both of them are wrong. That makes no sense. But whatever, yo. Go watch it anyway, because it is worth watching. I will say. Like I said, 3.5 is still good. It's not a 5. Definitely
Yeah,
not
I
a
mean,
5.
honestly, I think this is well, shit. Of the
I'm just
3 weeks
fucking
that
child,
we
man.
were both on, because I mean, I would even agree that like, because I wasn't on the last episode, but I would agree that both of those movies are movies that everyone, if they haven't seen it, they're all both worth the watch. If you have any inclination or interest of watching them at all, I would say go for it. Like, I think they're both
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I think outside of that, though, man, like the week before that, what did we have? We had Woman King and what
Oh,
was
I
the
think
old
every
one?
movie we've talked about is worth watching except Celtic
Teen
Pride
Wolf.
and Teen Wolf.
Celtic Pride was
And we're
not
not
one
having this
we critique.
conversation again.
We did not
Yeah,
And we're
yeah.
critique
signing
Celtic
out.
Pride.
And we're signing out.
Nah. Teen Wolf was
Yeah, not,
the one that like, but like
yo, you know what's
both the
funny?
movies this week for sure, I think are worth
Oh,
watching.
actually,
Yo, yeah,
Pesto,
definitely.
you weren't on the last episode, but me and Ram actually agreed that we would not watch 42 again.
I
Oh
wouldn't
no,
watch it a
42.
second
No, I
time.
wought it. No, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't watch it a
I
second
wouldn't watch
time
it a second
either.
time.
We
Leave
didn't
It
we
Alone,
didn't
I'll watch another 100 times before I die, brother.
yeah, we didn't recommend 42.
No, it was okay. I forget where we gave it. I think 2.5 or something, or 3.
Yeah, something like that.
I forget. It
Yeah,
was bad.
It was a
it's
2.5.
Yeah.
it's not the greatest. But I mean, if like
That. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
if you're a big baseball fan and you like baseball, I think it's one of those movies where you fucking should know what you're getting into with it. Like
Well, here's the
if you're
thing.
going to
See,
watch the movie, you kind of know what you're getting.
it's funny that you say that. Going back to, I don't want to rehash too much of an old episode, but y'all go back and watch 42. We did that movie. But here's the thing about that. I think if you like baseball, you won't like that movie. There wasn't enough action for a baseball movie. Like League of Their Own smashes that in terms of baseball action. And if you're a real baseball fan, you want to see baseball in a movie too, right? You
Yeah,
want to see
but I
action.
mean, if you watch actual baseball, that's one of the problems. There isn't enough fucking
Not no
action.
more though. Not no more though. I don't know. I like baseball though, so I guess anyway.
That's
But not
fair.
anymore.
Yeah.
That's going away because they speeded up the game. But I'm saying, but even still with baseball movies, typically you get a lot of baseball
You're
action. And
absolutely right. You're absolutely right
42
there.
was
Yeah.
missing a lot. It was missing a lot of it. Um,
Yeah,
Even something like The
one
Natural
season, one
got a lot of
season
baseball
was
action. Yeah, it was one
It's
season, and it
weird.
was like, and that was a lot of dialogue about the season, about a couple stolen bases, about
like
getting
come on, man,
harassed. It was
like
like
Sandlot had more fucking action baseball
way
than
more. Well, Sandlot had action like League of Their Own. It's
yeah.
funny, the ones that
Yeah.
aren't about like Major League have more action. It's interesting.
Oh
But anyway,
yeah.
ooh, that was close to backcourt. Sorry, I just saw a college player. Basketball game in the background. Sorry, y'all. Speaking of which, we gotta do some basketball movies, yo. Maybe that should be the next one. Basketball playoffs are coming up.
Well, aren't we
Watch
doing
Oh,
that.
those hip hop flicks?
Oh yeah, that's right. We said that, but we just suggested that. We ain't got to do those. That was
yeah.
just the night of when I
I'm
think
down
I
for
was high. I
whatever.
made a suggestion.
Well,
So I don't know.
we might have to watch the one.
But we got to watch the one. That's right. We'll say that off air because we haven't
Yeah.
announced that guest for the
Yeah.
other podcast for pick apart the live from the den, pick apart the patch, pick apart the flick. It's all something. God damn it, I'm fucking tired of
It's all looped
picking
together.
peppers and fucking Peter Piper, pesto, pick a fucking pesto pepper.
Pick
Anyway,
apart the
I just
pesto.
uh yeah. So that one and then oh we'll talk off of this. Scream 4, the new Scream with that.
I
I haven't seen it. There's a new
don't know.
Scream
Well, there's
with
two
that
new.
one.
Oh yeah,
There's technically two new screams.
What do you mean?
One came out. Did you even see the last one that came out? The one came
No, we
out
ain't
like
counting that one. New one. Let's go with the new one.
yeah.
Brand
Well,
new.
I'm pretty sure I'd have to go to the theater to see that. I don't
No, you
have
don't.
access to that
No,
one.
you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I've told you guys mad times in the chat. MyFlixer.to. I'm telling you. I
Yeah.
just watched the Whitney
But
Houston like that. That was in the theaters. I watched mad shit like that.
Are you sure it's not a
We'll
cam?
figure it
Are you
out
sure it's
off
not a
air.
cam version? I think it's a cam version.
Fuck is the cam version?
A shitty version.
No, I've watched good versions. I've watched them. Everything we've watched, I've watched on this,
Yeah,
and
but
it's
all
all
these
been
are
fucking
all
good
out though.
versions.
They're all out, is what I'm saying.
No, all right. Next time I'll pick apart the flick. We will have some other fucking movies for y'all. Thank you very much.
Peace.
Peace.